Now, just a little bit about Victoria. She is a lifelong animal lover who became an anti-racing activist after adopting 2 rescued greyhounds 9 years ago. 5 greyhounds later, she volunteers as the creative director for the Coalition for the Protection of Greyhounds, developing social media memes and videos that bring the public's attention to the exploitation and destruction of racing greyhounds. She is the editor of the new e-magazine Greyhound Life Matters and mum of the infamous greyhound couple Fergus and Shirley. She is a proud vegan who protested and marched against live export and greyhound racing in Sydney and emceed the Shut It Down anti-racing rally at this very park 2 years ago with Coast to Coast Animal Friends. Thank you again, Victoria, and welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, animal lovers. I'm Victoria Sublette, and as you know, I'm with the Coalition for the Protection of Greyhounds, and I want to welcome everyone here to the Animal Rights Unity March. We've come to march against all forms of animal cruelty and oppression, and we be the voice for those who have none. So to begin, we acknowledge the Turrbal people as the traditional owners of the land where we gather today and recognize that this land has always been under their custodianship. We pay our respect to elders past and present and to emerging community leaders and extend respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. I also want to thank the following organizations. We give a good clap for each one. We have Death Row Unchained, Animal Liberation Queensland, yay! Animal Justice Party, Sugar Shine Sanctuary, who came all the way up from Lismore, and Vegetarian and Vegan Society, the Coalition for the Protection of Greyhounds, and IWAG, I Want a Greyhound, over there. I would also like to thank the Coast to Coast Animal Friends for organizing this whole event, this whole march, and giving me the honor of being the MC today. So let's give a cheer to Coast Animal Friends for bringing us all together. Okay, so I just want to start with a little story for all of you. 25 years ago, I adopted a 3-year-old cat who was on death row at the RSPCA in Sydney. And little Cinnamon traveled to America with me and back to Australia, and we had an amazing life together. 9 years ago, at 19 years old, she died of cancer, and my beloved Cinnamon was no more. But the vet sent me flowers, and I called to thank them. And then the vet nurse asked me, "So, have you adopted another fur baby yet?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know. I'm afraid to get another cat because cats hunt, and I live in the bush with, possums and a lot of birds." And then she said, "Well, have you ever thought about getting a greyhound?" I went, "How did you go from a tiny cat to a giant racing dog?" And she said, "Greyhounds are just giant cats." So the nurse gave me the website of Greyhound Rescue, and I started my love affair with greyhounds. However, I was afraid I needed a huge yard and all the misconceptions that many people have about greyhounds. So after I found out that they didn't need a lot of room and are very quiet and easy to care for, I started my greyhound love affair with Tallulah and Roger. And that was 9 years ago, and since then there's also been Bondi, and now I have the infamous Fergus and Shirley. Over these years, I have found that despite their skinny physique, greyhounds are cuddly and affectionate. And despite being the fastest dogs on the planet, they're lazy and sleep 22 hours a day, just like cats. And despite having to wear muzzles, greyhounds are actually very docile and gentle. Personally, I believe that the muzzles are just another way that the racing industry vilifies greyhounds so they can justify their cruel treatment of them. But that's my opinion. And here are some other facts I've learned about greyhounds. More than 40% of greyhounds bred for the industry are deemed wastage because they do not qualify for racing, resulting in approximately 17,000 greyhounds, healthy little greyhounds, being killed every year in Australia. Another 400 greyhounds die from racing injuries every year. These include broken necks and broken spines. Hundreds more are killed with minor and treatable injuries like broken toes. And the average lifespan of a racing greyhound is 1.5 years compared to 12 years of a normal greyhound lifespan. And in fact, Australia is only one of 7 nations in the whole world with active commercial dog racing tracks. What do these other countries know that we won't admit? And for these reasons and more, my beloved companions are now my cause. The fight against the cruelty, exploitation, and mass killing of these sweet and gentle creatures by the greyhound racing industry must be stopped, as well as our use of any animal for profit and entertainment. So today, those who love and rescue greyhounds are cheering the passing of the ban of greyhound racing in Florida, USA. So
Yay!
This is an important defeat for the pro racers and the death knell for greyhound racing in America. But sadly, at the same time, Racing Queensland and the Queensland government are still planning on building 2 new greyhound racing tracks. And that'll be in southeast Queensland, close by. Racing Queensland, together with current and former racing ministers, have said that a new greyhound track is a priority for them, and they are looking at a number of sites. No development applications have been submitted as yet, but the Gold Coast is being seriously considered. So now is the time for us to organize and get ready to stop the building of any new greyhound tracks. So before I go, I want all of you to remember that each and every one of you can make a difference. Each and every one of you is needed to help us in our fight against animal cruelty. It is only by being united together that we can bring an end to greyhound racing in Australia. If you're interested to get involved in the Stop the Queensland Track campaign, please leave your name and details with me, or I have a clipboard over at the Coast to Coast Animal Friends, and I also have some free stickers for you. So to find out more about greyhounds and our activities at the Coalition for the Protection of Greyhounds, please visit our website at greyhoundcoalition.com, or add your email address to the list, or just give it to me. So thank you and have a great march. Okay, I will now introduce our first speaker.